Yeah, I like that song. That's a cool intro. Well, anyway, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are. I am your host. It's great to be back with you. I hope you are doing well. Please post your comments and questions below. It'd be great to hear from you. Please like, share, and subscribe because it does feed the AI algorithm. Uh, Today, we're going to be getting into the BBC News, talking about that news platform. They are going to be integrating AI into their business model. And in fact, they're going to be creating an AI department to focus on that. And they're going to be focusing on Gen Zers, apparently people in their middle 20s. And so with that, let's go ahead and jump into this article. This is going to be from The Guardian. Unfortunately, I'm on the Wayback Machine. And that's because I opened up, I'm going to make this a bit bigger for us. That's because I apparently you can only get so many articles to read before they don't provide you access anymore. Anyway, that was a really long and unproductive way of saying I don't have access to BBC News anymore. That's what that means. So I apologize. Anyway, let's jump into it. Again, this is from The Guardian. BBC News to create AI department to offer more personalized content. Boss says BBC News reach is defying gravity and it must use AI to support and accelerate our growth. Correct. As we've seen before on this channel, a lot of different types of businesses are taking the nesty plunge, so to speak. They are attempting to integrate AI into their business, meaning they're going to try to figure it out. They're going to move forward just like everyone else. That's, again, I've been talking about this throughout my different episodes. I think as long as this channel has been around, or at least early on, that AI is going to become an integral part of society. Unlike everyone else, I don't believe it's going to. Well, it's definitely going to destroy some jobs, but it's going to create a lot more jobs than it destroys. That's my position. Like computers. Computers took out a lot of jobs, but a lot of jobs use computers now. But there are still jobs that don't use computers, or at least they can get away with not using computers. Anyway, let's jump into this. BBC News is to create a new department that will use AI to give the public more personalized content. As its leader said, the corporation had been defying gravity in reaching audiences amid seismic changes in the way news is consumed. Correct. So just over the short period of about 20 years, we've gone from our culture, our society has gone from accessing news through paper to now accessing news on TikTok and X. Right. When you need to learn something or when you need to find out some facts, what do you use? Do you go on? Matter of fact, do you go on Google anymore and use the browser, or use the search engine, or do you use Grok, or do you use ChatGPT or something like that? I don't know about you, but that kind of gotten into that habit. I rarely use. Well, I basically use Google now for finding a restaurant or maps. Maps is pretty cool. I like Google Maps. I use that a lot. Let's continue here. And a note to staff seen by The Guardian. Deborah Turness, the chief executive of BBC News, announced an overhaul of the organization structure, including the creation of a new department, BBC News Growth, Innovation, and AI. So an AI department. It will have a particular focus on under 25s, probably middle 20s though. But yeah, under 25s, I get that. Amid a huge shift in news consumption on smartphones and on platforms such as TikTok. Yeah, so their target market is going to be under 25s, but a lot of people in their 20s and a little older will come along with that as well. There'll be some sort of normal distribution, but their focus will still be under 25s. I'm going to jump ahead a little bit here, where I will post this article below so you have it, and then you can feel free to go through it if you like, or you can choose to utilize this video as a resource, or you can do both. Either way, it's up to you, but I would appreciate it if you included me as well. It'd be nice. It'd make me feel good. Let's continue here. Quote from the article: "We must," and this is Turness speaking, "we must become ruthlessly focused on understanding our audience needs, on delivering the kind of journalism and content they want, in the places they want it, designed and produced in the shape that they enjoy it," Turness said. I'm going to continue here with the further quote. "We must do this on platforms that deliver a best-in-class consumer experience, offering personalization, recommendation, and unique user journeys, and we must deploy AI to support, enable, and accelerate our innovation and growth." Correct. So they're going to change their pipeline, right? Well, let me take a step back. The old pipeline of delivering and accessing news is changing. In other words, pipeline might mean how news is delivered and how people consume it. Before it was paper, then it switched to online. Then the companies went online. Some of the companies went out of business because they couldn't make that transition to online. But the companies who did, they went online, and now all their news is delivered online, and that's how we consume it. Then the social media companies got involved. And if you're on X, you probably get most of your news from X. If you're on TikTok, you probably get most of your news on TikTok. Now, the media companies or the news companies, they have to compete against that. So now they have to change their business models. Now they have to incorporate AI, and they have to figure out how to do that, which means their business model changes, their structure changes. The type of employees they have changes. The knowledge that their employees must have changes. Their employees must be able to not just be able to interact with computers, but probably have to be able to understand how to interact with an AI interface. They probably have to know how to do that. Remember, some of the companies that the businesses that I've covered on this channel, they've also had to figure that out. McDonald's, Taco Bell, going back to way back, some of the nuclear the companies that are utilizing nuclear power. They have to figure it out. That's a little bit more esoteric, but anyway, of the companies that we're aware of and that we interact with every day, yeah, those companies are going to have to figure this out, especially to be able to gain market share. That's going to happen. Real quick before I let you go, and we'll let you go, I just want to cover a couple other things. Of course, this means the TikTokification. Just heard that word for the first time today. The TikTokification, say that 10 times fast, of the news. And that's precisely what's happening. How will American media respond to that? ABC News, NBC News, CBS News, Fox. How will they respond to that? And of course, they're going to have to go through the same process as the BBC News, right? They're probably going to have to shift over to creating an AI department and integrating AI into the business. So that's going to be fun for them. I work in industry in the private sector as an engineer, and it's fun for me. I mean, what actually is kind of fun for me, but it's a challenge. And I kind of know what I'm doing, and it's still a challenge. So for them, and it's going to cost some money for them too. This is going to be an investment for these media companies. And one last thought, and one last thing, how will this editorial integrity, how will that change that? Editorial board, so on and so forth. Right? They're focused on accuracy, fairness, impartiality, and privacy. Will they be able to maintain that with integrating AI? Well, unless you don't think they're fair, or they're accurate, or they're impartial, which I would agree with you. I don't disagree with you. I do have a position. My position is probably more extreme than you on this point, I imagine. So anyway, let me give you my final three questions here. I'll let you go. Do you think AI will make news more personalized, or more biased. By the way, it could end. That's not necessarily an or. That could be personalized and biased. That could happen. That's possible. Should all newsrooms be adopting AI this quickly? Why not? Why not? Is the BBC setting a new industry standard or risking audience trust? Questions to think about. I will post those questions in the description below so you have access to them. Anyway, were there any questions you think I should have asked? Anything I missed? Drop your thoughts below. Let's keep the conversation going. Be great to hear from you. Please like, share, and subscribe because it does feed the AI algorithm. And I will see you in the next episode.